All right, allegedly live. Hooray. Okay, so as I fix this right here, what I thought we could do, well, I thought it because I put up a poll, and the poll was between arms and styling against doing more desplazamientos, and it was neck and neck for a while. But Desplazamientos, whatever the fuck, pulled it out, and we're gonna move on the floor is what we're gonna do. So just to review a little bit, after we smartly adjust the white balance to be cooler, oh, that shutter, whoops, cooler. These are live, by the way, in case anyone was curious, but that white balance is gonna kind of bug me. We need to go, what, cooler? Is this good content? Leave a comment if white balance adjusting is good content. See, the light changes during the day, folks. All right, that's gonna be fine. Okay, so Desplazamientos. We're going to, Jesus, can't say that fucking word right now. So boils down to moving around on the floor, and I think it's kind of the missing link, maybe, in a lot of people's social casino. So let's say we dile her que no, and then we decide that we're going to lead the sick combo that we learned in class this week, and lead the combo, and we do a bunch of stuff, and all of a sudden the combo is over, and then we get to about here. And so what might happen at a muscle memory is we lead dile que no, and then kind of sit here in guapea and just think of the week before's sick combo to lead. And so as opposed to doing that, anytime that the follow's here, and we could dile her que no, we can get into desplazamiento. All right, and so 1, 2, 3 of dile que no, and the face-off happens right here, for the 5, 6, 7. So normally 5, 6, 7, I would just go opposite direction as her towards my right as I bring her to my left, and I would be then in guapea land. But what I want to do to get into it, 1, 2, 3, is on 5, 6, 7, go with her. 5, 6, 7. And then we're just going to open up on 1, 2, 3, let her walk on 5, 6, 7. Open up on 1, 2, 3, meaning get out of her way, let her walk on 5, 6, 7. And so then, in terms of getting out of them, it's the same timing as we would get into it. After any 1, 2, 3, instead of just going ahead and following her on 5, 6, 7, opening up on 1, 2, 3, following her on 5, 6, 7, opening up on 1, 2, 3. If I want to get out of it, I'll go back to regular old dile que no footworks and move towards my right, and then we are back into this open position. And if I remembered the sick turn sequence from the week before, I can lead it right away. So basically it's just an alternative to sitting there and doing guapea for hours while we think of stuff to do. That's from like sort of a utilitarian like leads point of view. It gives us something to do that makes us look like we're still dancing while we think of what we're doing. It also obviously adds a nice dynamic to the dance where it changes things a little bit, where we're just moving around on the floor together. And so it's nice for the follow. We just kind of get to move and enjoy and don't have to be tying her up in pretzels all the time. So, they're helpful. We showed a couple variations. So the one that we just did was in kind of a closed position where we just moved around and closed. But we showed that we could also do them in open position. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So I let go with my right arm, and so now we're in open position, but I'm still gonna do this little cheat step where I follow her. And so the 1, 2, 3, I still have to get on her left shoulder. 1, 2, 3, and I can kind of do that by moving towards her left shoulder, but also helping to pivot her so that her left shoulder is pointing at me, because it's quite a hike to go from here if I was gonna run all the way over here. So I'm gonna run a little bit over there and then just change her angle a bit. 1, 2, 3. All right, so we did one where basically it was using guapea to make the box here. So I'm gonna pull and push open for 5, 6, 7. We open up. I still gotta get out of her way on 1, 2, change the angle for 3, and bring her across 5, 6, 7. And so that one would be useful if you were going to, if you said, okay, well, I know I wanna lead 70. I know it starts with this connection right here, my left hand, her right hand. It takes you to the same place as just doing guapea ending on 5, 6, 7. And so you can go into any standard grip turn from there. We also showed one that used a right to right connection. So if we had her here and we didn't have the right hand, we did a couple different ways last week. But if we didn't have the right hand, we could do directional. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And while I get out of her way, I'm gonna have my right hand ready to switch to her right hand. 1, 2, 3. And so we said anytime we get this right to right arm wrestling type connection, her left hand can go on my shoulder. And then when I bring her across 5, 6, 7, I'm gonna have my left hand ready to get her shoulder 5, 6, 7. And so then I'll open up 1, 2, 3, shoulder, 5, 6, 7. When I get out of it, shoulder. And so then if I wanted to lead some sequence that started with a sombrero-ish type thing, I could use that desplazamiento to set that up. So basically, just in case it's kind of a slow day for anybody or this is new to you, it's a slow day for me, I gotta be honest. If I was hanging out in guapea, I'm just here thinking of what to do. 5, 6, 7, I want to lead some sombrero turn. 5, 6, 7, I'd have to switch the hand and then lead the turn and then do my thing. If I was hanging out in guapea and I wanted to lead like Kentucky or something, 1, 2, 3. Once I worked up the nerve to do Kentucky, my hands would be set and I could just grab the other hand. But if I was over here from some sequence previously and I knew in my head I want to lead sombrero, what I might do is do a desplazamiento where I'm working up my nerve for sombrero, where I switch the hands right to right, and then once I'm done with that one, I'm ready to lead seamlessly some sombrero starting turn like that. And if I had it deep in my soul that I wanted to lead Kentucky, but I just had to kind of get my stuff together, what I might do is use the one that's like guapea, leaves this standard connection here, and I can go into leading Kentucky or any turn that starts off with this connection. Just an alternative to hanging out on the spot and doing the basic. So what I wanted to do today was show a couple options to add a little more something to what we have going on here. We are moving around a little bit, and so I was going to add at the end of the desplazamiento, not just doing a turn, but just kind of adding a little bit of like a static. We're going to hang out on the spot and do something interesting. So if we go ahead from dile que no, and we'll do the closed one first. So we're going to hang out in closed. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And then I'm going to open up on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bring her on. 5, 6, 7. I'm going to open up 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And instead of just bring her across for dile que no, I'm going to do a pasela with the arm up. So I'm going to take my left hand. I'm going to do it like a server. And I'm going to guide her around me. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. So this one can be a little bit tricky, and you gotta keep an eye on the elbows here. But 1, 2, bring the hand up, and I want to keep this connection with the right hand here. So I'm not gonna just drop it and just yank on her right hand with my left hand. I'm gonna still guide her with my right hand. 5, 6, 7. Then I can let go. So I let just like kind of just like slide on her arm, and then it's just gonna slide. It's gonna go away. And so I want to just make sure that I keep my right elbow tucked because she's gonna be coming from this angle here. So I've got to just kind of swim in, get my hand on her back, and then bring her across 5, 6, 7. And so what the followers can do with their left hand is just let it kind of trace along the lead's back. So that way we know where in space you are. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So I have an idea of where she is. I've got some contact with her that I'm not just bringing up my elbow and like decking her in the rib or something like that. So if we were gonna do a little variation from closed, we would go 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Bring the hand up, bring her around, bring her across, and then we could lead any of the turns that we so desired from there. So it's just a little add-on to the closed desplazamiento. Okay, so if we do the open position one, so from guape, if we had 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, we opened up. We're gonna go 1, 2, look for the hand, bring her on, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, look for the hand on 5, 6, 7. And so right here, we're gonna add a little something. We're gonna set it up just like normal. 1, 2, 3. So I'm looking for the hand just like I would normally. And what I wanna do is, as I bring her across on 5, I'm gonna give her Coca-Cola type rotation. So over her head this way, I'm gonna push this hand, 6, 7, get my hand on her back, and then 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So you're adding like a Coca-Cola while moving around. It's kind of fun. And so you can lead it very similar to how you were leading the guape hands. So you got 1, 2, 3, open on up. So we're gonna go 1, 2, look for the hand, bring her across. 1, 2, look for the hand, bring her across. One more. 1, 2, look for the hand. And so then on Coca-Cola, remember, it's important you let her walk on 5, then the turn happens on 6, get the back, and then 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. And then you could lead whatever turn that you wanted to from there, but it's just a little add-on to our desplazamiento. Okay, so far in close we had 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, bring the hand up, 5, 6, 7. Swim the arm in, 5, 6, 7, and you're off to the races. Then, from the open one, we had 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, look for the hand, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, look for the hand, 5, 6, 7. Coca-Cola time coming at you, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and then whatever. Okay, so we've got a right to right to do a little add-on to, and boy, are we going to add on to it. So let's say that we're just starting from Dile Canal, and we've got this closed connection. If we want to get right to right, we've got to do a little hand switcheroo. And so we could do that a number of ways. We could, if you wanted to do it from here, you could do Dile Canal and Paseala, where you switch the hand and then leave the right to right connection, and then get into moving around. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. That seems slick enough. Let's do that. So we'll go from Dile Canal, and we're going to Paseala her around us. So 1, 2, 3. Switch the hands behind the back. 1, 2, 3. And so important, shoulder helps keep the frame, and I'm going to look for her shoulder with my left hand. 5, 6, 7. We're going to move around a little bit. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. And so just to change things a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and make an arch with my right to right and bring her under on 5, 6, 7. And so then here, what we're going to add on to it is a little walk first on the first side of the count. So 1, 2, 3. And so we're going to start the turn not on 1, but we're going to start it sort of on 3. So the first part is just kind of a walk. So 1, 2, 3. And so I'm going to pick the hand up, and we're going to be turning the same way like a turnstile. All right, so not like a super common turn, but it's kind of cute. I'm just gonna say it. It's cute. All right, so we're gonna go dile que no paseo. 1, 2, 3. Switch the hands behind the back. 1, 2, bring her across. 5, 6. Start moving. 1, 2, shoulder. 5, 6, shoulder. 1, 2. Here I'm gonna make my little arch here, and then let her walk under. 5, 6, 7. And then 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And so we're just going to turn. We're going to start the turn on 3. And then 5, 6, 7, we're going to finish the turn. So if we take a look here, so 1's her right, my left. So 1, 2, 3. If I can get her right to kind of point towards me on 3, that's good. And then 5, 6, 7. And so then I've got my little bro hold, and then we can do whatever we want from here. But just a little ending to the desplazamiento. Okay, so if we start from closed, we have dile que no paseo. We got 1, 2, 3. Switch the hands behind the back. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7, and get out of her way. Bring her across. Get out of her way, make an arch. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7. And then right here, I would be tempted to do a little like swivelly kind of a thing off of that. But that's outside the scope of what we're doing. Little tie-in. What we said would be useful for Desplazamientos was, especially for the leads, was cross in front, cross and back type footwork. So that is not necessarily just used with these. Where I'm going to use it is if I really want to move. So if I open up 1, 2, 3, I can bring my right foot behind, cross behind, 5, 6, 7, and we can really cover some distance. So if I really want to move a lot, 1, 2, start moving on 3, so she walks forward on 3, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. And so that cross and back, cross and front, cross and back step, it's very helpful for that. Another place that it shows up is when we do something like a rodeo. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, I cross them back. 5, 6, 7, I cross in front. 1, 2, 3, and cross them back. 5, 6, 7, and everything works out beautiful. So the steps that I've warmed up every class with since the late 70s is probably about 8 steps. And I just made a little video that's up on the channel that shows what they are and where they're used. And they're useful not just for this move, but they're useful for a bunch of other moves. So one of the steps, I'm gonna sell the new video real quick, is we have our back cross step. So back crossover, back crossover, back crossover, like that. And then we also adapt the forward and back for some extra distance, some stagger on the slow beat. So in place and then forward with a stagger, and in place and then back. So the idea is we're using the first step to move on each of the forwardness and the backness. So instead of having a step that's very characteristic of the forward step, getting all the emphasis, and the back step getting all the emphasis, it's a little bit more subtle on the forward, where it's used to move backwards, and it's a little less on the back, where it's used to move forward. And if we do like, the reason why I do those steps is if we take a look at the feet for something as simple as just a turn, it's kind of like casino math. So if you look at the lead's feet, if we do just whatever turn, we got 1, 2, 3, 5, 6. If I'm going to lead Basila, first part of it, my footwork is going to be first half of like back crossover, back crossover, and this part right here is the last part of forward and back, back, forward, forward to go get her. So warm up with those steps so that every time you're learning a new turn, it doesn't look like its own unique footwork. You already have a base for it. And so again, with like dile que no, it's just going to be the opposite. So it's the first half of a forward and back, forward, back, back. And the second part of dile que no is back crossover, just the other one, back, cross, over. So if you have those steps, learning a lot of the basic turns is just easier because you already know the feet. If you're a lead especially, you just have to focus on leading her. So just those two, forward and back cross, right? 1, you can lead turns and dile que no. 6, 7, so I'm going back, cross, over, back, forward, 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 back, 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 cross, over, and I just have to worry about the arms. So that video is up. It has 8 steps outlined and where they're used. And then there's a little link where you can go for a video library to see them broken down long form. Because like long form explanations of like obscure dances or slightly obscure dances, not the most algorithm friendly content. So there's my plug. Let's do all 3 of these to some music. Why don't we do that? All right. Boom, boom, boom. And so Desplazamientos won out in the poll. However, if there's something that we want to see next, well, maybe not next week, but the week after next, or maybe next week, we don't know yet. Let us know here in a comment, or let us know in like a DM, and we'll see what we can do here, because I want to make these as useful as possible. You want to know what? I'm feeling a little crazy right here. So I'm gonna do percussion tutor. Usually I use salsa rhythm just for that backbeat, but I want to see what percussion tutor has. There you go. Answers that. All right. So we'll slow it down, put it up. Okay. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So we'll do the first one and close. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Follow her. 1, 2, 3. 7. 1, 2, 3. 7. 1, 2, 3. 7. 1, 2, 3. And we're off to whatever dancing we're gonna do. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 2, 5, 6. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. So now we got the open ones. We'll do the guapea style first. And 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. Coca-Cola. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. 5, 6. 1, 2, 5, 6. 1, 2, 5, 6. 1, 2, 5, 6. 1, 2, 5, 6. 1, 2, 5, 6. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, Coca-Cola. 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. All right, so now the right to right one. 5, 6, 7. So we said we started off with pasela. Get the shoulder. And eventually you're gonna make a tunnel for her. We don't forget. All right. One more. So we got 1, 2, 5, 6. 1, 2, 5, 6. Pasela. All right. Thank you. So, thank you. If anyone's in Chicago area, Madison, Wisconsin area, if that has an area, I don't know if it has an area. There's dates in the description about those 2 places. Come on out and dance, why don't you? Thanks for watching, and let me know what you want to see next. This always cuts off a little early.